This is it, the day the European poker calendar has been building up to all year. 8 remain in what is the crowning event of the EPT. But only one will have what it takes to be promoted to poker royalty and become Grand Final champion. Amongst those fighting for their place in Hold'em history, a formidable Brazilian pro on the verge of becoming the 3rd player ever to win an EPT, WSOP and WPT title.
If I win the EPT, we'll have a triple crown, so this will be really important for me.
An ultra-aggressive local hero will be applying maximum pressure as he attempts to be the first Spaniard to secure an EPT title.
All I can say is it would be hard to be more aggressive than me. I mean, winning this would mean a lot for me.
And then there's the rising Venezuelan star hoping for a double celebration. Taking down the Grand Final title on his wedding anniversary would certainly make for an unforgettable night. It's final table time in Madrid. In a break from tradition, the PokerStars.com EPT Grand Final has moved to the Spanish capital Madrid for the final event of Season 7. 686 players from all over the globe dug deep for the 10k buy-in, creating a mammoth €6,860,000 prize pool and a top prize of €1.5 million. The cream of the poker crop came for a shot at Europe's most coveted title. But now, just 8 remain. Inside the Casino Grand Madrid, the players have arrived and they are raring to go. Starting the day in 8th place is a young American online pro, Andrew Lee. With just 1.2 million, he will need to get busy from the off. Next, with around 1.6 million, is Hungarian Tamás Lendvai, winner of the Italian Poker Tour in Venice last year. Ahead of him in 6th, with just under 1.7 million, is Brazilian team pro Alex Gomez, who is hoping to become poker's 3rd Triple Crown winner. German Torsten Brinkmann has been on a chip stack roller coaster ride, but now finds himself in 5th with almost 1.9 million. The second American at the table is Eugene Knight from California, and he starts with just shy of 2.4 million. In 3rd place is a Russian EPT regular, Andrei Danilyuk. He has about average chips with over 2.6 million. The last remaining Spaniard hoping to take it down on home soil is team pro Juan Maceras with 3.3 million. But the top dog is Ivan Freites from Venezuela with over a quarter of the chips in play. Let's join our commentators James Hartigan and Joe Stapleton.
We're on the verge of crowning the 7th EPT Grand Final champion.
A lot of prestige and a lot of cash on the line. Cha-ching, that translates into every language, right?
Blinds are currently 40 and 80,000 with a 5,000 ante. And action is on Andrei Danilyuk.
Everybody nervous?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Relax, guys.
He's folded, as has Andrew Lee. Ivan Freites has ace-queen.
Freites became a bit of a villain just before the final table after an egregious angle shoot against Eugene Knight.
He's raised to 175,000.
He's also far and away the chip leader. He's got 2.7 million more than his next closest competitor.
Action's been folded around to Tamás Lendvai. The Hungarian has 8. Squeeze it. Jack.
Very dramatic squeeze.
He lets it go. And in the big blind, Juan Maceras.
Another drama squeeze.
Jack 7. And he is going to defend.
A very loose defend. He may have an axe to grind against Freites.
He hits the flop, though. A gut shot straight draw and a flush draw.
He's behind for now, but he's got the most equity, being that his pair outs are live as well.
Goes check, check on the flop. Maceras counting out chips to bet the turn.
Freites has given up the lead.
He's made it 240,000.
Don't answer him. It's probably an angle shoot.
Freitas is still in front right now with ace high. And he calls.
Freitas has made the correct call, but if you're going to call on the turn, that means he should probably also call a lot of the time if the river bricks.
Well, Maceras hits his jack on the river.
This is a really good card for Juan, as it's a complete blank for anyone who is drawing. Just not sure how much Freitas will call with ace-queen high.
It's 350,000.
Ha, remember earlier when he was pretending he couldn't speak English during that angle shot? Priceless. Seems to speak fine now. Calling the turn, then folding the river when no draws hit seems like a losing play overall, though it would be correct in this case.
He lets it go.
¿Qué pasa por ahí? ¿Qué pasa por ahí? ¿Qué pasa por ahí?
Support for Juan Maceras from the locals.
And someone's finally taken a chunk of Ivan Freitas.
Juan second on the leaderboard with 3.79 million, looking to become the first Spanish player ever to win an EPT.
My beginning in poker starts in United States at the university. I supposed to go there to play soccer because I had a scholarship, but you know, my friends all start playing poker, so I learned the game. My sister is a professional poker player also, and my father, who is the best of the family, he used to play a couple years ago quite often, every day, so many tournaments, but he quit it. Yeah, actually, last year we made the final table in the Estrellas Poker Tour. We made final table together. I made second and he made 5, I guess. It was awesome. With my sister, we've been drawing in the same table on the EPT GrandFinal 2 years. Tournament director just moved us. Yeah, that's cool. I don't like to play with her. I wouldn't like to stack her, you know. We are in the grand final, you know, it's the most important tournament in the whole Europe. 10K buying, best players around the world. I mean, winning this would mean a lot for me.
Even though I'm American and I'm supposed to blindly root for Americans, I think it'd be pretty cool if Juan won the EPT Grand Final in his home country.
Well, Freitas is still leading the way with over double the average stack. We've got 6 players at the final table who are below average in chips. One of them is Torsten Brinkmann, who's opened under the gun with ace-king. The min raise to 160,000. Gets folds from Lenvite and Maceras. And Danilyuk. Andrew Lee gives up the small blind.
Just one player left to get through. And big shock, look who's got a hand.
Well, Torsten Brinkmann should get some action here. He's going to 3-bet. This must be music to Brinkmann's ears.
Freitas just 3-bet an under-the-gun razor. That's going to look pretty strong, but I'm not sure I can automatically give credence to a 3-bet from the chip leader, especially remember his propensity to get it in with ace-4. It's pretty rare to see someone lay down ace-king at this stage of the tournament to only 1 bet.
Brinkmann's got the perfect size stack for it.
Whoa.
What happened there?
Tight fold.
He just laid down ace-king?
I mean, why even raise if you're going to fold to a re-raise? He had position and chips behind as well. Even when Freitas gets unlucky, he gets lucky.
I was about to say, Brinkmann was in a perfect position to ship it, and then he folded? Did that really just happen?
It is very bizarre, but then again, James, we can see all the hole cards. I'm just kidding. That was terrible. It was a terrible fold.
Well, Brinkmann's not going to play this hand. Gomez will also pass. Ace-queen for Eugene Unite.
Eugene is a chess and triple draw expert who lives in Los Angeles, which also means he's probably written a screenplay.
He min raises to 160,000. Lenvite folds. Maceras will get rid of the h6. Danilyuk's on the button. Doesn't want to play. Andrew Lee has 3s.
And he's short.
He shoves. Ivan Freitas is in the big blind. He asks for a count. Not sure why.
1.6-ish.
If he does call, the flop's going to come queen, queen, 9, but I don't think he's calling.
I lost you sell my buying. I lost you sell my buying. 10,000
I love you, Simon Bang. I think he's flirting.
Well, whatever. At least he's had the good sense to fold that hand. So back to Unite.
This call would be for 85% of Eugene's stack. Andrew Lee has played pretty tight, but his stack is such that his shoving range should be pretty wide, and this should be a fairly easy call.
And if he does, it'll be a standard race. The threes with the slight advantage.
I call.
He does call.
And it is a race. Either way, James, an American's winning this hand.
An American's also losing this hand.
Yeah, well, that's not how we look at things in America.
Thank you.
Andrew Lee is the player at risk.
I have a little bit more, yeah. I'm going to be left with like maybe 3.
Stacks are pretty even.
And yeah, I definitely cover him, but not by much.
Eugene can't go broke, but if he loses, he'll be left with fewer than 4 big blinds.
Big flip.
You said it.
Good luck, both.
Good luck, Andrew.
The flop is 9-9-4.
The threes are holding so far, but Lee's at risk for a counterfeit.
4-as az, vagy dáma.
3, not 4. 9's fine.
An ace, a queen, or a 4. Or a 7.
The 7 adds 3 more counterfeit outs.
4-7 az, dáma.
King is good.
But scary.
6.
The river is a 4.
Even though it was a coin flip, getting counterfeited always feels like a bad beat.
Good game.
Play it out. Just as you said. Just as you said.
So Andrew Lee collects 130,000 euros for his 8th place finish. And we are down to 7 at the final table of the EPT Grand Final.
Good luck, man. Take it down. Take it down.
Thanks, man.
Oh, damn. How big was that?
Welcome back to the final table of the PokerStars.com EPT Grand Final here in Madrid. We've had our first casualty. Andrew Lee started the day as the short stack, and after falling on the wrong side of a coin flip against Eugene Unite, he's out in 8th place for 130,000 euros.
I've lost a lot of coin flips in my life, but this has got to be obviously the biggest one, and I feel pretty good about everything that happened, how I played, so I have no regrets.
Andrew also says he really hopes to work on his flips in the offseason.
Blinds are up to 50 and 100,000 with a 10k ante. 7 players remain. Next man out, 185,000 euros. The winner, 1.5 million. Action's been folded around to Alex Gomez. King 6. Not going to play that. Eugene Unite has ace queen of diamonds, raises from the cutoff to 200,000.
He's got ace queen again, and this time it's suited.
Thomas Lenvai has 3-4 of clubs. He folds. Juan Maceras has jack-9 of spades.
This would be loose, but this kind of hand is right in Juan Maceras' wheelhouse, and he doesn't seem to mind playing out of position.
He calls from the small blind. Andre Danielyak will fold the big blind.
Yeah, about 3 million?
3.5.
3.5? Okay.
Maceras had about 3.9 to start the hand.
Well, that flop does nothing for Maceras, but it does give Unite the nut flush draw.
He's got 2 overs to go with it as well. He shouldn't be too shy about getting some money in there.
Orange chips are 25,000, blues are 10, yellows are 5.
Eugene is ahead, but even if he weren't, he'd have a lot of equity in this pot.
He bets 250,000. And Juan's going nowhere.
Even with his backdoor draws, this is a very loose float from Maceras. Gotta wonder if he's planning to make a play on a later street.
Well, he takes the lead on the turn. Now it's a pair of 9s.
Looks like Juan's considering a donk bet. I think there was a fairly good chance Juan was gonna fire any blank on the turn, and now with this pair, he might feel he's got even more reason to bet it.
430,000.
Not all that much has changed for Eugene. Yes, he's behind now, but as you can see, he's still got plenty of equity, so I'd be shocked if he folded, but he might not want to just call and then give up on the river if he misses.
That is a raise to 1.6 million. And a quick fold from Maceras.
Love the raise in that spot. Sometimes you bluff out a better hand. Other times you get called and you win a huge pot when you hit your card. And Eugene gives acknowledgement to all his adoring fan.
Unite second on the leaderboard with 5.27 million.
I don't play that many live tournaments. I usually just play 1 or 2 a year. The EPT final is the largest blind tournament I've ever played. I just try to do my best and, you know, not make big mistakes. It doesn't always work out that way for me just because I don't think I'm particularly good. I started playing chess when I was 6. My mother decided it would be a good hobby for me to take up, exercise my brain or something. Started playing in tournaments when I was about 9 or so. I was always pretty good, and I'm a chess master now. The very best chess players don't translate that well to poker, but the guys who are about my level or maybe even a little bit weaker in chess, lower rated masters, tend to become pretty good poker players actually. You know, I haven't had a good track record in live tournaments, and yeah, if I could win this, that would, you know, there's a lot of cash that goes with it, and, you know, my name would become known, so that would be pretty cool.
Poker and chess are incredibly different. Do you know how hard it is to suck out at chess? It's nearly impossible.
Action is on Eugene Unite. He's picked up pocket 8s under the gun +1, and he's raising it to 200,000. Again, the min raise. Lenvai gets out of the way. Maceras with ace-queen. And he makes the call in position.
I'm a little surprised there was no 3-bet.
Daniel gives up the button. Freitas folds the small blind. Jacks in the big blind for Brinkman.
Brinkman's got 15 big blinds. He's not likely to see a better hand than this.
I'm all in.
He shoves.
1.5 Milski. So it's back on Eugene, who may be second in chips, but most of the time in this spot, I think he'd be lucky to be racing. This bet is for over a quarter of his stack. And we know how tight Brinkman's been playing. I'd also be a little worried about Juan Maceras still to act behind. I'm pretty sure this is a fold.
Eugene giving it some thought.
Uh-oh.
And he's decided to make the call.
Think Juan's surprised?
I was calling him.
Juan folds the ace-queen.
Ace-queen.
You have? I have 8s. Jacks.
That's Brinkman's girlfriend, reality TV show star Natalie Hoff.
Brinkman is the 4-to-1 favorite to more than double up, and he just motioned to Natalie that if he loses this pot, he's breaking up with her. Eugene Unite says he's not the most experienced Hold'em player. Story checks out.
The flop is King 7-7.
Jack's holding up nicely so far. Eugene's got no backdoor draws. Means he can hit only an 8. Natalie's laughing.
The turn is a queen. That's Juan Maceras' card.
Too soon.
For Eugene, he would need to hit an 8.
Still looking for that 8.
The river is another queen, so Torsten Brinkman's jacks hold.
Torsten and Natalie get to stay together.
Unite's taking it well, whereas Maceras is having a bit of a sulk because he would have rivered a full house.
Ooh, too soon.
Thank you very much.
3.5.
Brinkman now has 3.3 million. But Ivan Freitas still has a commanding lead over the rest of the final table with nearly 6 million in chips. Tamas Lenvai, on the other hand, is in the danger zone. He's down to 9 big blinds.
He's got his jacket on and everything, like he's ready to go at any moment.
Well, he's folded, as has Juan Maceras. Queen 9 for Danilyuk. He passes. Ivan Freitas has ace 8 offsuit.
Better than the hands Freitas usually raises, but he might not want to get shoved on by a short stack Alex Gomez in the small blind.
It's been folded to Gomez. He has 8-7 of spades. And he shoves.
Call.
Unite snap calls him with 10s.
And things are not looking good for us crowning Alexander Gomez with the 3rd ever Triple Crown. He's going to need a lot of help from the board.
Just 19% equity, a 19% chance of survival.
This is what happens when you get short.
The flop. It's King 5-3 all clubs.
Really bad flop for Alexander. Not only does he need runner-runner, but neither one can be a club.
Well, he hits an 8 on the turn.
But I've got some bad news for Alexander. He can't know this, but both the 7 and the 8 of diamonds were folded pre-flop, so he has only one out left in the deck. And if he doesn't hit it, he's going back to Brazil with a boring old double crown.
It's got to be the 7 of hearts, or we lose Alex Gomez. He will be our 7th place finisher, 185,000 euros, but no EPT title for Alex, no triple crown.
Alex Gomez played very well, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if he ended up with that triple crown sooner rather than later. And Eugene Unite has closed the gap between him and Ivan Freitas to less than 1 million chips.
Alex, if you had have won here, you would be only the 3rd person in the world to get the triple crown. So how disappointed are you there?
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed, but there will be another EPT, so I'm pretty sure I can make it. I did my best. I didn't have any spots at the final table. I was kind of short stack, but it's okay. It's poker. Ready for another one.
But now you're standing here. Who do you think could take down this grand final?
I'm a really good friend of Juan.
Okay.
And
he's got some following here.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to stick around and watch?
Yeah, I'll take a look. Why not?
Excellent. Well, Alex, it's always a pleasure. Congratulations on 7.
Thank you so much.
How much do you have?
Juan Maceras eyeing the short stack in the small blind.
He wants to see what the damage will be if the short stack shoves out of the big blind.
He raises under the gun with ace-10 of spades, makes it 230,000. Folded by Danieluk and Freitas. Torsten Brinkmann has 9-7 of clubs, so I imagine they'll go in the muck.
He hasn't mucked him yet. Looks like Brinkmann might be cooking something up here.
Wow. This is Brinkmann trading on his tight image. He 3-bets light to 510,000, putting the pressure on Tamas Lenvai, but the Hungarian has woken up with a hand.
Even though it's been raised and re-raised, I just don't see how you get away from this.
Oh, he folds.
Oh, that's how.
Luther being nice, because I had the ace jack. I had the ace jack. Ace jack? Yeah.
Maceras doesn't believe him.
I can barely believe it either. Torsten Brinkmann had a very good read on that situation and used his image to take that one down without a flop.
So with that pot, Torsten is now sitting comfortably in 3rd place. Over the course of the next 25 hands, Tamas Lenvai is off the bottom spot with over 3 million chips. Ivan Freitas continues to lead the pack, while Juan Maceras has slipped into the danger zone.
Blinds are now 60 and 120,000 with a 15,000 ante. And action is on the chip leader, Ivan Freitas. He's got 9s, and he raises under the gun to 245,000. A decision for Torsten Brinkmann.
Freitas really hasn't gotten out of line too much today.
The decision is to fold. 5s for Eugene Unite.
Eugene's got about 25 big blinds behind. Not a lot of players are going to call and try to set mine with a stack like this, so this might be fold or all-in territory.
I'm all in.
It's the latter. All his chips go across the line.
Freitas will have a decision to make, but he's got a couple of players to act before him.
Lenvai gives up the button. And both blinds quickly muck.
Back to Freitas.
Counting out the chips for the call.
Freitas hasn't folded too often in these spots.
There's his wife. They're celebrating their wedding anniversary today.
I call.
He puts Unite at risk.
No.
Pack a 5, pack a 9.
Unite looking to spike a 2-outer. Freitas is the 4-1 favorite to bust Eugene and become an even bigger chip leader.
There's PCA final tableist Bolivar Palacios.
And behind him, Umberto Brenes.
A lot of support for Ivan Freitas. A flop of 10 queen 6. The knight still drawing to a 5.
Umberto somehow found his way up to the wives section.
Ace on the turn.
United still dead to a 5. Meanwhile, every poker fan in Latin America is somehow here and on their feet. United is down to 1 card, 2 outs, or it's checkmate for the chess master.
The river is a 6. Freitas consolidates his chip lead. A disappointing result for Eugene Unite. 6th place will earn him 250,000 euros. Can anyone stop the freight train?
Welcome back to the EPT Grand Final here at the Casino Grand Madrid. Before the break, Eugene Unite had been in the thick of all the action. First of all, taking out Andrew Lee in 8th place. And then dashing Alex Gomez's Triple Crown dreams by sending him to the rail in 7th.
I'm all in.
Unite's aggression caught up with him though when chip leader Ivan Freitas called his 3-bet shove with a dominating overpair. The board brought no help for the triple draw specialist and he leaves us in 6th. It's not the first time these two have tangled. In fact, a key hand between them yesterday saw Freitas transform his chip advantage into a mighty lead and cause a whole lot of controversy in doing so.
Everybody's really upset at him. They just everybody else is like, oh, this guy's unbelievable.
It's a really specific situation. I don't know what to say about it, but I didn't like it actually.
I called a bet on the flop, and the turn came 5, I went check, check.
River card, 6 of spades.
On the river, I put out a kind of small to medium bet, and my opponent postured for a while.
Hey, raise.
And then he said, okay, I raise, and he put out a call.
I'm sorry, call.
What? You said raise. Thomas Krems has been called to the table.
Call.
Sorry, you announced raise.
No, speak English.
Everybody on the table saw what happened and everybody understood what happened.
Wow, you see that?
That was not a mistake.
The floor man came up and said, you know, this guy did this earlier in the tournament.
I think this is exactly the same situation as
Wow, Freitas has got previous for this.
It's exactly the same move you had the nuts. I just share this information with you, okay?
He wasn't against the rules, but he did some mistake to make some kind of confusion on his opponent.
I believe we're looking at an angle shoot here.
Made a mistake by calling because I had a pretty strong hand with king queen, but I can pretty easily fold because I know he has a full house from his tell.
He makes the call. Freitas shows the full house.
Yeah. No, I know. I heard about this before the tournament started.
So ugly.
Ugly. Move was so dirty. Feel like I need a shower.
Nobody liked it for sure. Yeah, but it's poker.
I'm here rooting for my friend Ivan Freitas from Venezuela. We're all here and I hope he takes it down for Latin America one time.
He's a really nice guy. He's a smiling guy, a happy guy. He deserves the final table because he plays a lot of events and he gets deeps in some of those, and now it's maybe his time.
Apparently, Ivan Freitas has shot the same angle multiple times in multiple tournaments. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, still shame on you. It's just messed up, man.
5-handed action begins at the final table.
Yeah. One day, I will wake up with a big hand. You're gonna double me up, and I'm gonna crash the table. I'm telling you right now.
Word.
Yeah. I'm not shoving light.
Ivan Freitas folds the king 3. Ace-king for Torsten Brinkmann.
Big slick.
A raise.
Raising from the button.
250.
Makes it 250,000.
And now we'll just get the obligatory Tomas Lenvai fold out of the way.
He's in the small blind with king 6 of clubs.
No shot.
He does pass. Juan Maceras. 3 bets with Jack 10 of hearts.
I'm all in. You raise all in. All in call.
All in and a call.
Once Juan 3-bet, he must have felt he was pot committed. If it weren't for the fact that he's drawing awfully live, I would call this a blow-up.
It is almost 50-50.
Being from Spain, Juan's got plenty of support in the field.
I noticed that Brinkman didn't fold ace-king to a 3-bet this time. Natalie hoping that the best hand holds up. The flop is deuce, queen, 4.
After missing the flop, ace-king becomes a pretty big favorite. Maceras has 6 outs at the moment.
Juan looking remarkably happy considering the situation. Another 4 on the turn. It has to be a jack or a 10 on the river, or we will not have a Spanish champion here in Madrid.
Things just got much quieter and much more serious. Juan's wife anxiously awaiting the river card.
Maceras has 6 outs. And he doesn't hit. Torsten Brinkman eliminates the Spanish pro in 5th place. Juan Maceras cashes for 315,000 euros. His 3rd final table appearance on the European Poker Tour, but no home soil victory and still no Spanish winner on the tour.
Torsten's girlfriend's shirt says, "I heart Madrid." I bet she does. Someone's going home with a new handbag.
Brinkman now sitting on a stack of 6.7 million.
I'm a full-time student. I play poker and study, and I hope I can try to find a mix. My girlfriend is here. I hope she sweats for me. I had 1 cash in Berlin last year. I finished 88. This is my 3rd EPT and only 1 cash. I'm very happy and proud to be part of the final table. It's a great feeling. I couldn't sleep all the night. I'm a bit nervous. I hope I will come down a bit. It's the dream of every player to reach a final table in such a big tournament. In Europe, I guess it's no bigger title than this one. And it would be a dream to, to win this one.
I bet Torsten and Natalie look just adorable driving around in their Volkswagen.
I think they're more of an Audi couple.
Either way, adorable.
Brinkman currently 2nd in chips, but Freitas still with the commanding lead over the rest of the table. He's got Jack 9 offsuit. It's been folded to him on the button. He's raised it up to 250,000. The green and black chips are in play. They're worth 100,000 each.
Brinkman knows Freitas could be raising a pretty wide range from the button.
A raise.
He's going to 3-bet.
680.
Makes it a total of 680,000. Tamas Lenvai, a 6-9 offsuit.
Dominated in both spots.
So it's back on Freitas.
6.
That's 6 million. I really think there's no shame in Freitas just letting this one go.
Instead, he calls in position, and we go to the flop. 5-3-10, all clubs. Both players with a club draw. Brinkman's got the nut club draw.
Brinkman was the last aggressor, and he's first to act.
680.
680,000 again, the same size as his 3-bet pre-flop.
Freitas has only got jack high, but he's also got a flush draw. Here come those new big chips.
It's a raise to 1.5 million.
Honestly, I think this is an ideal spot for Brinkman to get it in. Without the ace of clubs in his hand, it's pretty unlikely Freitas can call. Brinkman might have the best hand, which he does, and he's got flush and backdoor straight draws. Perfect spot to get it all in.
Instead, he decides to call. Or what happens if he misses on the turn?
Exactly right, James. I think that may have been a misstep.
It's a 9 on the turn. Freitas takes a commanding lead.
Check.
And he shoves.
At this point, Brinkman has to fold.
Now he's thinking, why didn't I get it all in on the flop? Another victory for Ivan Freitas, who smashes the 10 million chip mark.
And then Freitas shows the, well, I'm not sure if he thought he was showing a bluff or a value bet.
Freitas with a stack of 11.5 million. Brinkman down to 4 million.
Brinkman has managed to keep his head above water throughout, being around average stack, whereas Freitas has cruised through, maintaining a chip lead and recently hitting his peak by taking that 4.5 million chip pot from Torsten. The angle shooter is absolutely running away with this thing.
While Ivan describes himself as a professional poker player, he also runs his own transport business. It's been 48 hours of celebration for Freitas. Yesterday was his youngest son's 5th birthday, and today, as well as making this final table, he's marking his wedding anniversary.
He must be one heck of a father and husband, because he is running good.
Remember, the winner of this tournament gets 1.5 million euros, the title, the trophy, and a seat in the first ever EPT Champion of Champions event.
Tomas Lenvai has made quite a bit of money by folding today. Continues his great play.
Andrei Danilyak has picked up 3s on the button.
And he's only got 15 big blinds.
He shoves.
Whoop.
1,785,1785.
Decision on Ivan Freitas in the small blind. He's got ace-9.
Should be an easy call for Freitas. Danilyak could certainly be shoving worse than ace-9, and Freitas got thrice the chips of the next closest player.
You are sleeping? Would you like to go home?
And you?
Yeah.
Ah, the universal language of poker.
I'm all into.
That I understand.
Brinkman in the big blind. Will fold, so Ivan Freitas puts Andrei Danilyak at risk.
Danilyak is the slight favorite, but I gotta tell you, no one's a favorite against Ivan the Terrible.
We're off to the races one more time. Okay, we've established who's got what. Let's steal the flop. Jack 7-10.
7-10 jack.
Safe flop, but Freitas picks up 4 more outs to a gut shot, so even though Danilyak dodged the flop, he's still a coin flip through the last 2 cards.
The Freitas fans are calling for an 8. It's a king.
Freitas is double gutted now, so he picks up 3 more outs. Danilyak's not nearly as big a favorite as he should be after dodging 4 cards, but he's got just 1 more left to dodge.
He needs to fade aces, queens, 9s, and 8s. It's an ace! Unbelievable! Freitas wins again. He eliminates Andrei Danilyak in 4th place. The Russian will collect 400,000 euros.
And Ivan Freitas is an unstoppable rebel force.
He's sitting on 2/3 of the chips in play.
So 3 remain in Madrid, all battling for Europe's most prestigious title. And of course, that staggering €1.5 million first prize.
Would you like to play in an EPT? Well, if you're already a registered PokerStars.com player, you're all set. If not, get online and download the free game software at PokerStars.com, and you could win a seat to the next EPT event from the comfort of your own home.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT Grand Final. 3 players remain, blinds at 80 and 160,000. There's been a raise from Torsten Brinkman with Jack 8 on the button.
Lenvai's folded his way to 3rd place, but it looks like even he won't be able to fold this one.
All in.
He shoves from the small blind with pocket 9s.
This car play? The car play? Yeah. I need a car.
Never.
Freitas wants him to stick in his little car good luck charm as well.
Ace-9 for Freitas.
Wow.
Looks tempting, but this should be a pretty easy fold to a raise and a shove.
Much behind?
He's nothing behind, he's all in.
Come.
There's Lenvai's wife.
Morning.
Freitas reshoves. A quick fold from Brinkman.
That shove's really not very good, but then again, why would you ever fold when you never lose?
So Thomas Lenvai at risk, but huge favorite here.
And he looks weak in the knees.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Ace on the flop.
Ivan Freitas is putting on a ridiculous display of skill. Not. Lenvai played super patiently, ends up going broke to a luck box. Just one out left to hit.
He needs the 9 of clubs on the river, or we are heads up here in Madrid. The Hungarian will be our 3rd place finisher. The Freitas fans are delighted. Congratulations to Lenvai for laddering up into 3rd spot, but he feels sick to the stomach right now. Hey, 550,000 euros ain't bad. And Freitas gets ready to take on Torsten Brinkman. The German heads-up specialist goes into battle as the underdog with 4.7 million in chips. He'll face the Venezuelan pro who has over 3 times that amount and the railing crew to match. He's been bouncing cards off the wall all day. Can Torsten get the better of him?
Good play.
These guys are playing for a difference in 600,000 euros in prize money. Torsten has not only outchipped 3-1, but he's also starting with only 27 big blinds. This should be like trying to ice skate uphill.
Blinds are still 80 and 160,000. No ante in heads-up play. Action is on Freitas, who's on the button in the small blind. 4-6 of clubs.
With Freitas' stack, he's likely to raise every button.
He does raise to 380,000. Ace-deuce for Brinkman.
No way I give Freitas credit for a big hand right away, especially with the size of his chip stack. Whoa.
Wow. Brinkman made a big fold earlier on with ace-king. He's just made another big laydown there.
I would have had the money in there so fast. Sure, Freitas would have made quads or something, but wow, that fold was tight. Hope there's some booze in that drink, because with Brinkman's stack, he can't be waiting around for the nuts all night.
Brinkman first to speak now. He knows he's meant to look at his hand, right? 9-4 of hearts.
Race. Oh, sure, 9-4 though, that's a good hand.
He makes it 320K. Pocket deuces for Ivan Freitas.
I think this might be a spot for a 3-bet.
Instead, he elects to call and play the flop out of position.
Freitas might think Brinkman's shoving no matter what and doesn't want to take a race. I really don't know.
8-10-6.
Brinkman flops a gut shot.
Freitas checks to him.
A C-bet might take it down.
Instead, he checks behind. King of clubs on the turn.
It's a likely scare card for both players.
Freitas checks a second time. Brinkman now reaching for chips.
Oh, now he's going to bet.
330,000.
It went check on the flop, so this pot is small enough that Freitas can certainly call here.
Call.
He does.
Brinkman's still looking to hit that gut shot. His 9 and his 4 are live also.
The river is the 5 of diamonds.
Well, 7-4 just got there, but otherwise that 5 is a complete brick. Looks like Brinkman's going to fire at this again. Freitas stationed him on the turn, and I think there's a pretty good chance he gets stationed here on the river as well.
He bets 680,000. Freitas looking at a board full of overcards.
Cool.
Makes the call.
9 high.
Good call.
Very good.
This is good. Come on!
And the crowd goes wild.
I know he's excited, but there's no reason to rub it in. I'm not sure he's the best, but he does certainly run very, very well.
Not only does Ivan Freitas now have a 6-1 chip lead, but Torsten Brinkmann looks like a defeated man. 9-10 of diamonds on the button for Freitas.
Definitely a raise.
$350,000. Ace King.
Seems fairly obvious.
Surely Brinkmann goes with this. Surely he shoves.
I'm all in.
I call.
And Freitas snaps like he's got aces.
Torsten Brinkmann taking his time, pushing his chips in before Ivan Freitas inevitably runs him down.
Freitas does have 40% equity with his 9-10, but Brinkmann is the favorite to get a double up.
And the better halves are anxiously awaiting this board to be run out.
Of course, if Freitas hits that board, as he has been known to do from time to time, it's over, and we have a champion here in Madrid. There's a 9 on the flop.
Torsten's now got to make a pair or he'll be runner-up, and Ivan Freitas will be our champion.
Torsten Brinkmann needs an ace or a king. He needs it on the river, or Ivan Freitas will get the 1.5 million euros and the championship trophy. 6 outs for Brinkmann. The river is a blank. Freitas has done it. The Venezuelan is the winner of the grand final in season 7 of the European Poker Tour. Brinkmann gets 900,000 euros as the runner-up. But it's 1.5 million for Ivan Freitas, plus the trophy, the prestigious title, and that seat in the Champion of Champions tournament. Celebrations aplenty from all the South American poker fans who've come here to Madrid to rail their man.
He may have gotten there controversially at first, but it's been pretty clear that this is Ivan Freitas' day. And sorry, sweetie, but Freitas is just an unstoppable freight train.
He came into the final table as chip leader, and he never surrendered that chip lead once. Disappointing finishes here in Madrid for Alex Gomez, Eugene Unites, and Juan Maceras. Tamas Landvai successfully laddered his way into third. Torsten Brinkmann, the runner-up for 900,000. Ivan Freitas gets 1.5 million euros.
The EPT Grand Final is always unmissable, and this season has been no exception. In the mix were poker superstars, online phenoms, and aspiring young guns. Our Triple Crown hopeful fell short, and Juan Maceras' dream of winning on home soil were dashed at the final hurdle. But it seemed like one man was destined to emerge triumphant. Ivan Freitas has become our latest Grand Final champion. From James Hartigan, Joe Stapleton, and myself, Michelle Orr, thanks for joining us in Madrid for the grand finale of the European Poker Tour Season 7.